It doesn't start as a dramatic scene. There's no slamming door, no shouted curse word that echoes in a silent house. It begins in the quiet. It's the sound of the television in the other room, a constant, droning hum that is more present than the people watching it. It's the empty chair at the breakfast table, not because someone is gone, but because they never sat down in the first place. It's the fine, the okay, the that's nice, honey, spoken to the air as a parent's eyes remain glued to a phone screen. This is the lonely life of the emotionally neglected child. And it is long. God, is it long? The days are not measured in hours, but in the weight of the silence between them. A morning can feel like a lifetime when the only conversation you have is with the cartoon characters on the screen. You learn to build your own world inside your head because the one outside your bedroom door offers no entry. You become the quiet observer, the kid who knows the pattern of the cracks in the ceiling, the specific way the dust motes dance in a sliver of afternoon sun. You are a ghost in your own home, moving through rooms without disturbing the air. The loneliness isn't the kind you can fix by being around other people. At school, you see it all. You see the easy, fluid way your classmates hug their parents at pickup, the way they chatter about nothing and everything. Their words a bouncing ball that is always caught. You stand there, your own backpack feeling like a lead weight, and you practice your smile in the reflection of a car window. You learn to mimic. You learn the scripts of friendship, the laughs in the right places, the nods, the yeah, totally. But it feels like you're performing a play where everyone else has the script except you. There's a pane of glass between you and the world, and you're forever on the outside, tapping. But no one hears the sound. The years stretch on, a long, lunning, monochrome film reel. You hit milestones. A birthday comes. There's a cake, maybe a present. But the gift is just an object. What you're watching for, what you're always watching for, is a flicker in their eyes. A moment of seeing you. Not the child they feed and clothe, but the one inside, the one who is terrified of the dark, who thinks their thoughts are too weird to share, who desperately wants to be asked, what's wrong? Just once, and for the person asking to actually wait for the answer. It never comes. Instead, you get a pat on the head. A look how big you're getting. The loneliness curdles then. It turns into a deep, resonant belief that you are fundamentally uninteresting, unengaging, that there is something missing in you that makes you unworthy of a deeper connection. You weren't abused. You were omitted. And how do you get angry about an absence? How do you scream into a void? The anger has no target, so it turns inward, becoming a quiet, persistent shame. This is the reality that hits. It's not a single, catastrophic event. It's the death by 1,000 paper cuts of indifference. You grow older. You leave that house. You build an adult life. You get a job, maybe a partner. And for a while, you think you've outrun it. But the ghost of that child follows you. It's in the way you flinch when someone gets too close, emotionally. You were trained for self-sufficiency, for emotional lockdown, and intimacy feels like a foreign language you're supposed to be fluent in. It's in the way a perfectly normal silence with a friend can suddenly feel like that childhood kitchen, vast and empty, and you'll scramble to fill it with meaningless noise, terrified of the quiet. It's in the desperate need for validation, a hunger so deep it can never be filled. Because you're trying to feed a starvation that happened decades ago. You achieve things, you people please, you twist yourself into a pretzel to be what others want, hoping that this time, someone will look at you and truly see you, and you will finally feel real. And it's in the profound confusion when people show you real, consistent love. A part of you is always waiting for the other shoe to drop, for them to realize you're not worth the effort, for the neglect to begin again. Because that, the silence, the emptiness, that is what you were taught love feels like. The life of the emotionally neglected child is long because it never really ends. The house you leave is just a building, but the emotional landscape you built inside it? That becomes the map you navigate the rest of your life with. It's a map with vast, blank spaces where connection should be, and a compass that always points you back to the core belief, I am alone. It's real because it's invisible. There are no bruises to show, no scars to point to. Just a lifetime spent learning how to breathe in a vacuum, and the echoing, unanswerable question, if I am here, why can't anyone see me? It's in the body, this loneliness. It becomes a physical fact. You learn to make yourself small, to occupy the least possible space, because your emotional presence is already an inconvenience. You walk on the balls of your feet, you slip into a room and out again like a shadow. Your own heartbeat can feel too loud, a disruptive noise in the curated quiet of the house. You hold your breath listening for signs of life on the other side of the door, not because you want to join, but to time your passage to the kitchen to avoid interaction. The loneliness has a taste. It's the metallic tang of a canned soup you learned to heat up for yourself at age 8. It's the blandness of a hurriedly made sandwich eaten standing over the sink, because sitting at the table alone felt too formal, too stark an admission of the emptiness. Food becomes fuel, not comfort. There are no family recipes passed down, no stories told over simmering pots. The kitchen is just a room where groceries go to die, and the sounds. Oh, the sounds are a library of absence. The frantic, performative cheer of a television commercial that feels obscenely loud in the stillness. The agonizing click-clack of a keyboard from a parent's home office, a sound that means do not disturb is not just a function on a door, but a permanent state of being. The kitchen is just a room where groceries go to die, and the sounds. Oh, the sounds are a library of absence. The frantic, performative cheer of a television commercial that feels obscenely loud in the stillness. The agonizing click-clack of a keyboard from a parent's home office, a sound that means do not disturb is not just a function on a door, but a permanent state of being. The specific tone of a sigh when you finally dare to ask a question, a sigh that says, you are an interruption. Your needs are an interruption. You become a connoisseur of sighs, of muttered excuses, of the hollow thud of a closed magazine. These are the lullabies of your childhood. The world outside compounds it. Well-meaning adults call you mature for your age, and you wear that label like a crown of thorns. They don't understand that this maturity is a trauma response. It's the armor you built to protect the soft, starving thing inside. You weren't given a choice. You had to become your own parent, your own comforter, your own validator. You soothed your own nightmares, celebrated your own A grade, asked yourself how your day was in the echoing cavern of your own mind. This isn't maturity, it's a survival fracture, a split in your soul where the child had to be abandoned so the tiny, weary adult could take the wheel. This loneliness is also a breeding ground for strange, secret religions. You develop rituals and superstitions. If I can count to 100 before the car reaches the next light, then Mom will ask me about my day. If I step on all the cracks on the sidewalk on the way home, then Dad will be in a good mood. You assign magical thinking to the indifferent universe, trying to create a system of cause and effect where none exists, because the sheer randomness of the neglect, the occasional, fleeting moment of attention that gets your hopes up before the curtain falls again, is too devastating to bear. As an adult, the legacy is a minefield. You are both fiercely independent and cripplingly needy, a paradox that tears you in two. You build walls so high no one can get in, and then you sit behind them, weeping at your own isolation. You might become a chameleon, reflecting back what you think each person wants from you, because your own identity feels like a vague, half-formed sketch. Who am I when no one is watching? Is a terrifying question, because for so long, no one was watching. Relationships are either fortresses to be defended or prisons to be escaped. You might cling to dysfunctional partners, mistaking drama for passion, because the frantic highs and lows at least feel like something, which is better than the nothing you were raised on. Or you might choose partners who are emotionally distant, recreating the familiar dynamic of your childhood, subconsciously trying to win the love you never got the first time around. It's a game you are rigged to lose. And the grief. Let's talk about the grief. It's a disenfranchised grief. You can't mourn what you never had. You can't hold a funeral for a presence that was always absent. So the sadness has no name, no outlet. It comes out as a sudden, overwhelming tightness in your chest when you see a father lift his laughing daughter onto his shoulders. It's the hot, shameful tears that spring up during a movie scene of a simple, warm family meal. It's a rage that boils over at minor inconveniences. Because you are finally, after all these years, screaming about the wrong thing, because the right thing, the vast, foundational neglect, is too big and too terrifying to confront. The lonely life of the emotionally neglected child is a life lived in the negative space. It's defined by what didn't happen, the hugs not given, the questions not asked, the tears not wiped away, the triumphs not truly seen. It's a long, long road where you are both the abandoned child and the weary traveler, carrying the weight of an emptiness that was never yours to fill. It is real, and it hits, because it is the quietest, most invisible war a person can ever fight, waged in the soundproof rooms of a seemingly normal home.